Are you ready to self-edit like a pro? My top 5 tips for editing your manuscript. So you've typed the end on your manuscript. Congratulations, that is a huge achievement. But before you send it out to the world, there's a really important step: self-editing. I have published dozens of best-selling novels over the last 10 years. But I remember when I started writing, I hadn't a clue about the actual nuts and bolts of it all. I winged it, researching as much as I could and learning along the way. Over a decade later, my process has massively improved. So why do you need to self-edit? Well, it's a question many new writers ask. And they might say, surely when you've written the book, it's just time to hand it over to someone else. And I get it. Writing a book is a huge achievement and it takes a lot of hard work. But wouldn't it be a shame to spend 6 or 12 months on something and not give it that final polish? For many aspiring authors, the idea of self-editing their own book can feel more daunting than actually writing it. It's tough to spot your own mistakes, and the sheer volume of words can be overwhelming. As a writer who is still actively writing and getting publishing deals, I can tell you that manuscript revision is where good books become great. It's also where you catch those embarrassing typos and grammar errors before anyone else does. Because the publishing industry is hugely competitive. And if I was an editor or, well, starting off an agent, and I was looking at 2 books and I had to choose between 2 great stories, but one isn't edited properly and the other is polished to perfection, well, you can guess which one I would go with. Even a quick spell check on Microsoft Word can reveal mistakes that you'll be glad you caught first. So while a professional editor is invaluable, these self-editing tips will help you to polish your manuscript, strengthen your story, and save you money in the long run. Number 1, rest your manuscript. Think of it like this. Aspiring authors have the luxury of time. Most new writers don't have a deadline, so they can take as long as they like to write their first book. Now, I write to deadlines, anything between 6 to 12 months ahead. These deadlines come around so quickly. I don't have time to physically step away from my book, and I don't have time to rest my manuscript for weeks on end. But aspiring authors do. Make the most of it. Seriously, put your work in progress away for at least a week or even better, a month. Then return to it with fresh eyes, seeing it more like a reader would rather than the person who just poured their heart onto the page. I know, your book feels like your baby to begin with. You'll have to learn to let go, and you'll be amazed at the clarity that this distance provides. Number 2, read aloud. Yes, really. Reading aloud is one of the most powerful editing tools for writers, and it's a no-brainer for me. When you read your manuscript out loud, you'll immediately catch awkward phrasing, repetitive sentences, and clunky dialogue that your eyes might skim over. Your ears will pick up on the rhythm and flow in a way that your eyes just can't. I used to find it quite hard on my throat, reading so many words out loud. Now I use the review and read aloud feature for Word on my Mac. You can find it there. Just click review, then read aloud. And here's another tip. If you set your manuscript to US spelling instead of UK, you can choose a lot more different voices to read it back to you. Just watch out for the differences in UK and US spelling. And you can adjust the speed too. Honestly, I listen to my full manuscript at least twice that way before I send it to my editor. That is the very last edit I do before it goes in an email. You might not notice a wrong word when you're speed reading, but a voice actually reading your story will highlight it every time, and it's great for picking up spelling mistakes too. When I listen, I can also get some sneaky housework in while the book talks to me. I mean, those floors, they're not going to mop themselves. But if you like, you could even play a little bit of background music, like a cinematic Spotify playlist in the background. Number 3, focus on one layer at a time, because you don't have to fix everything at once, and you shouldn't even try. Your manuscript revision can be done in layers, each one with a specific focus. Firstly, look at the big picture. Does your plot make sense? Are there holes? Are the characters consistent? Is the pacing right? Personally, I do this while I write, not at the very end. I have a whiteboard, sticky notes, and a skeleton plot. So just to make sure you've sorted out those plot holes, otherwise you may earn yourself some bad book reviews later on, because you can't put everything on your editor. The less they have to pick up on, the more likely they are to do a better job. Then move on to each chapter and scene level. So does each chapter serve a purpose? And are they in the right place? I love the Scrivener app for its ability to easily move chapters around. I always write my first draft in Scrivener, making use of the online corkboard, character names, and word count tools. But then when I finish that messy first draft, I move it to Word. And there's something about that which makes me feel like I've accomplished something big. My Scrivener first draft might be anything between 50 and 60,000 words, but by that stage, I pretty much have my outline nailed. Then I'll flesh it out in Word, bringing it up to around 80 or 90,000 words. So let's move on to your dialogue. Is it realistic? And are your descriptions vivid but not overwhelming? This is when reading dialogue out loud comes into its own. So act out the scenes and have fun with it. Then move on to sentence level. Look for wordiness, repetition, cliches, and passive voice. Readers skim over cliches and the same old words as they've read them so many times before. So change the sentence up. Keep the meaning, but in a different way. Instead of saying something like their heart pounded, why not say it was punching their ribcage? Proofreading. Oh, I leave this till the very end, when my story and my structure is complete. Hunt for typos, grammar errors, and punctuation mistakes. Tools like Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid can be really helpful for catching grammatical errors. And even in Microsoft Word, they have a great grammar and spelling check too. Stylistic issues and even repetitive phrasing is something that you might miss but can really grate on the reader later on. So catch those repetitive words. Find a balance. Some apps are more AI-led and will suggest altering whole sentences. Well, I'd say fix your mistake, but don't let it change your unique author voice. My author voice won me my first publishing contract. The human voice is so important, even more so now. Number 4, search and destroy your crutch words. Every writer has them. Words or phrases that they overuse without even realizing it. Think just, that, very, started to, or common filler words. I used to say she knew a lot. For example, she knew that she would be sleeping alone tonight. But now I cut any unnecessary words out of my edit. So this would change to she would be sleeping alone tonight. Use your word processor's search function to find the usual culprits. I do the same with swear words too, in case I'm overdoing them. Publishers, certainly in my genre, don't seem to like swear words very much. So it's okay to use them when they're absolutely necessary, but cut and tighten words that aren't really needed in that scene. This dramatically improves your prose. And here we go. Speaking of cutting, cut those flowery words until it hurts. Sometimes we can get a little carried away with our prose. When I published my first book, I received a view from the reader. I'll always remember it because I was so hurt by it. And she said she didn't care for my purple prose. I was devastated. All those flowery words and descriptions that I agonized over it. But I write crime and psychological thrillers. My books are there to thrill. I cut down on the flowery descriptions and my writing was better for it. So try to look at your work objectively. Are you being self-indulgent? Are you writing for yourself or the reader? Is the scene propelling your story forward, or will it make the reader bored? Because you might have some lovely memories of a place, but your reader might just want to know what happens next. The more you edit, the better you'll get. Self-editing is a skill that improves with practice and is a vital part of the journey for every author. Also, be warned, by the time you have finished your edit, you will be sick of your book. That shiny new idea is calling to you, but you've got yet another read through of your work in progress. Make peace with it. It's all part of being an author, even if it feels like you're doing homework for hours on end. Welcome to the club. Because when your book is published, you will fall in love with it all over again. Or you could belong to a different camp, the author who edits their book to death because they're so scared to let it out into the world. How do you know when's the right time? Well, I'm here to help. If you want to learn from an author with multi-million book sales, my Writing Masterclass offers hours of video lessons, workbooks, and much more to guide you from the very idea to publication. We are a friendly bunch, so stop by and see what we have in store for you. My 6-part blueprint will help you to complete your book, so find out more below. Thank you so much for joining my new channel. I really appreciate every like, share, and subscribe. Honestly, I love supporting authors because I have been there myself, and I remember how appreciative I was when someone would take time to help me out. And I remember scouring the internet for inspirational stories of authors who had made a success of it, because let's face it, there's enough bad news in the world, and sometimes it can take real effort to find some, inspirational advice from someone ordinary who started out with nothing and is a writer like me. So please do stay subscribed and keep an eye out for more videos, as we will have weekly videos coming up. Thank you. Happy writing.